Alright, so today we got some very exciting news about a new spin-off set in the Boys universe starring Soldier Boy and Stormfront. So in today's video, I'm just going to be talking about this, giving my own theories and speculation, and also discussing the information that was released. So please stay tuned. And now, before we actually get into the video, I'd like to ask you all to like, share, and subscribe. And again, thank you guys so much for the growth. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And I would like to ask you all to like this video as much as you guys can. It helps a ton. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. And now this news gets me particularly excited because Soldier Boy is finally having his very own spin-off, and it is called Vought Rising. And now, like, this is something that I did predict in the past, where I said that there should be a Payback spin-off, and it does look like that this could be that Payback spin-off. And also in the Boys show, it was teased and referred to that Soldier Boy and Liberty, aka Stormfront, do have a past, and also Soldier Boy did state that him and Liberty did find Herogasm. So this show is going to be taking place in the 1950s, and this is going to take place right after World War II. So Payback is going to be featured in this spin-off, and it's just going to be a whole story about Soldier Boy and Stormfront. And it's just amazing seeing that Jensen Ackles is finally getting the forefront, right? And also because at the end of season 4 of The Boys, spoiler alert, but Soldier Boy does show up in the very end, so he's going to be in season 5 of The Boys, and also he's going to have his very own spin-off set in the past, showing how he treated his team and how he was the face of Vought before Homelander. And with this show being called Vought Rising, and also it's starring Soldier Boy and Stormfront, and also it taking place in the 1950s, it's pretty safe to bet that it's going to be showing how Vought rose to power back in that time. Because during World War II, Frederick Vought did create Compound V, and he injected Stormfront with it, giving her powers. And around that time, even Soldier Boy was injected with it because of Dr. Vogelbaum's experiments. But with this being set in the 1950s, this is after World War II. So this is when Vought became a huge American brand, and Soldier Boy basically helped Vought become that brand, because of course in the first 3 seasons of The Boys, it is referred to a lot that Soldier Boy does have a statue outside of Vought Tower, and also we did see that in season 2 as well. So we will see, how did Soldier Boy get that fame, how did he become that huge American hero, and why did they specifically want to replace him with Homelander. And I really do hope that we get to see that Soldier Boy being betrayed by Payback. We did see that in season 3 of The Boys, but it would be very interesting seeing this fight with actual actors instead of it being animated, and like, you know, seeing the whole plan. And also I think that in this show they might even show young Stan Edgar rising to power, because of course in that time he was not the CEO of Vought, he wasn't the head of Vought, he was just working there. And so seeing Stan Edgar being in the shadows, working his way up and making those decisions behind the scenes, I think it'd be very cool to see that as well. And with Soldier Boy's popularity amongst fans, it is very surprising that he did not get that much screen time at all. Like, I think in total he has like about 16-17 minutes of screen time throughout season 3, and Gen V included. So there is a lot to work with when it comes to Soldier Boy. So it is very exciting that we get to see his past as well before he took the Compound V, because he did say that his dad was like some sort of rich factory owner, and he really did not like his son. He always called him a disappointment and stuff like that. So we could also see a more emotional side of Soldier Boy, and to see his childhood, how he grew up, and what made him take that step to take Compound V, because that is still a little bit in the air. He did say that, you know, to prove something to his dad, he went to his golf buddies and they got him into Dr. Vogelbaum's experiments for Compound V, and he was basically the first successful non-aging superhero. You could technically say that about Stormfront, but when it comes to just purely not aging and all-American superhero being a brand, that is Soldier Boy, right? And And also we could also see Stormfront changing her identities now and then, because I think that this show is going to be running for a couple of seasons, and they did say it's going to be taking place in the 1950s, like how I mentioned before. So it is very possible that the first season could be taking place in the 50s or in the 40s, and then season 2 could be taking place in the 60s, and then it could probably end with Payback betraying Soldier Boy, and also seeing how Soldier Boy treats Payback, because around when season 3 of The Boys was about to premiere, the showrunners did confirm that Soldier Boy was worse than Homelander, and in my opinion, I don't think he was worse than Homelander. Homelander is much more psychotic than Soldier Boy, so if they really do show how Soldier Boy was worse than Homelander, they could definitely show that in the show, and how he got with Crimson Countess, and how did Payback form. And again, like how I mentioned before, with the show being called Vought Rising, we could see how Vought went from a pharmaceutical company, right? Because that is what Stan Edgar did state in season 2, that Vought should be a pharmaceutical company, and also it did start out as a pharmaceutical company where Oppenheimer was creating the nuclear bomb. Frederick Vought already had Compound V test subjects, so we could see how Germany was much more ahead of America when it comes to just leaps, like when it comes to human evolution and scientific advancements. And also we could also see, why didn't Frederick Vought take that step into creating a soup army back in World War II, which could have made Germany win the war. So we could see why that didn't happen, and also we could see like how Vought became a huge American brand. How did Soldier Boy become an American brand? And also maybe in this show, maybe not in season 1, but maybe season 2 or 3, or how long they want this thing to go, because I think that they might make this thing multiple seasons. We could possibly see how Soldier Boy killed MM's family, and how reckless Soldier Boy was back in his day. So that's why they probably wanted to put him down on a leash and basically send him off to Russia. I think that that could be a big story point in this show. And with this being a Soldier Boy and Stormfront spin-off, they're of course going to show how they got together, because they were dating back in the day. And also, how did they find Herogasm? And also, some sort of freaky subject I'm going to touch upon is that they're probably going to reveal that Stormfront is Homelander's mom. And I know that sounds crazy, but The Boys does not shy away from this sort of reveal and subject matter. And the huge theory that's going around is that, of course, like, you know, Soldier Boy is Homelander's dad. That is confirmed. And with Homelander being able to fly, and also Stormfront being the very first test subject, and on top of that, with Stormfront and Soldier Boy being together back in the day, it is very possible that Dr. Vogelbaum could have gotten Stormfront's DNA as well, or back in the day, Liberty's DNA, and they could have mixed them up and they made Homelander. I think that that would be another big part of the show, is that they show how Homelander was born, because it is teased here and there in the show that how Homelander was born, how did he scare the scientists when he was born, and it would be very cool to see Homelander's birth in this show as well. And if they reveal that Stormfront is Homelander's mom, that would just be insanely mind-blowing and just disgusting, because in the comics, instead of Soldier Boy being Homelander's dad, in the comics it is revealed that Stormfront in the comics is of course male, and Vought got some of his DNA and they made Homelander. So Homelander is basically a Stormfront clone in the comics, which is why he could fly. And of course Soldier Boy can't fly, so it is very possible that Homelander's flying powers, he probably got that from Stormfront. But yeah, I'm just insanely excited about this spin-off, because of course I did mention a lot of times before in my previous videos that Soldier Boy is my most favorite character in the Boys universe, and just Soldier Boy having his own spin-off, it might not be a Payback spin-off solely, but it is definitely going to feature Payback, and we could see how Soldier Boy was the leader of Payback, and on top of that you throw in Stormfront in there. I'm just very excited to see how this goes on, because the past of Vought, right, you know, the creation of Vought and just how they rose to power has been mostly a mystery, and I really want to see that on screen, and this show is going to be delivering upon that. And I think that this thing is going to come out before season 5 of The Boys, and basically just to fill in a space there between season 4 and season 5. We're probably going to get Gen V season 2 first, and then we're going to get this spin-off, Vought Rising, and then that's going to lead into season 5 of The Boys. And the reason why they're probably going to be doing that is because, of course, Soulja Boy is going to be having a much more prominent part in season 5, and just giving Soulja Boy more of character development and just showing his past more. I think that that is a very good move if they want to show more of Soulja Boy in season 5, so we know more about him, we know more about his past, and also if he does reference some stuff about his past, and if characters do reference stuff about Soulja Boy's past and Vought's past, we would already know what they're talking about, and also they could build upon that. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I'd like to ask you all to like, share, and subscribe, and again, thank you guys so much for the growth. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And like how I mentioned before in the start of the video, I would like to ask you all to like this video as much as you guys can. I appreciate it a ton. And by the time of this recording, San Diego Comic-Con is going on right now, and there are a lot of trailers, a lot of news coming out about the Boys universe, and also Dead City season 2 and Daryl Dixon season 2. So you guys could expect some coverage on all of these shows. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.